let's go over the transfer portal success with Fran Brown so far, and also the fact that he's been able to retain a lot of the stars from last year and years prior with the program. So, just a baseline overview of the transfer class for Syracuse football heading into next season. Syracuse has the 24th ranked transfer class according to 24/7 Sports. That ranks 6th in the ACC. So already, that is pretty good. Top 25 in the country, will certainly take it. Upper half of the ACC. In fact, that's upper third of the ACC. We're certainly happy about that. But let's put that into context. Because if I were to say Alabama has the 24th best transfer class, I'm sure Alabama fans would feel pretty upset because, that's Alabama. They're supposed to be 1, 2, 3. And if they're anything past 5, then, there's a whole riot down there. But anyways, with Syracuse, we have to understand that we're not quite yet on that level. We can get to that level maybe one day, but not right now. For context for Syracuse football, their prior transfer rankings, and we're going to go since 2020 because before 2020, the transfer portal, it wasn't really much of a thing. The rules have gotten a lot less strict in recent years with the transfer portal. That's why it's super important to use it. Of course, Dabo Swinney doesn't use it at Clemson, so that's his loss, not ours. So, in 2020, Syracuse had the 73rd overall transfer class in the country. That's not great. In 2021, it was even worse. They were 91st overall in the transfer portal. However, they did land Garrett Schrader in that class, so it ended up working out okay. He was the starter for 2+ years at campus. In 2022, that ranking went up all the way to 35th in the country, which, to be honest with you, if Syracuse had the 35th best class this year, I think we would have taken it. But then in 2023, they went back down to 62nd in the country in transfer portal rankings. So that's not great. So Fran Brown has already gotten Syracuse into the top 25 in the transfer portal, which is super important nowadays. And he hasn't even coached a down for this team yet. Now, it would obviously help that if they're not very good in the transfer portal, well, are they at least great in high school to make up for that? The answer is no. Since 2020, Syracuse's average high school class has ranked 68th in the country. That is not including 2024. Okay, so from 2020 to 2023, they were ranked 68th in the country on average in high school recruiting. That's not great. 68. There are only so many Power 5 teams, or now Power 4. That's not good at all. So if you're not good at recruiting out of high school, and you're not good recruiting in the transfer portal, how are you going to be a good team? How are you going to be a good team? You tell me. Leave a comment below. If you can't recruit well out of high school and you can't recruit in the transfer portal, how do you be good? Anyone's guess. But Fran Brown has already gotten a top 25 transfer portal class. And one of the main takeaways I had from listening to all the press conferences from the media day is what Fran Brown said regarding Oronde Gadsden. Oronde Gadsden, in my opinion, is the best player on the team. And quite frankly, it's not really close. And that's no shade to anyone else on the team. But Oronde Gadsden, the starting tight end for Syracuse football, coming off an injury, he said to Fran Brown, if you get him a quarterback, he'll stay. If you don't get him a quarterback, he's gone. And to be quite honest with you, I was worried before I was ever the host of this podcast. I was worried that Oronde Gadsden might transfer out of the program because it made a lot of sense. He's one of the best tight ends in the country. He can basically start and play anywhere he wants, and he can command significant NIL money in the process. It made a lot of sense, in my opinion, but he decided to stay because Fran Brown got him Kyle McCord. So basically bringing in Kyle McCord was a 2-for-1. You get Kyle McCord, who's an established quarterback at Ohio State, and you kept Oronde Gadsden. So that's transfer portal success in itself, right? Fran Brown also brought in 4-star defensive end Fadil Diggs, who might just be the best defensive player on this team. So that's already positive right there. And he also kept the leaders like LeQuint Allen and Marlowe Wax and Justin Barron, leaders of the team. You need incumbent players with the new regime coming in, right? Also, side note, Allen and McCord both made the Maxwell Award watch list given to the most outstanding player in college football on an annual basis. Now, you guys might be asking, why wasn't Oronde Gadsden on the watch list? Well, Gadsden's listed as a tight end, and tight ends typically don't win the award. In fact, the award will usually go to a quarterback, running back, or wide receiver. The last player to win the Maxwell Award who wasn't a quarterback, running back, or wide receiver was Manti Te'o in 2012. So that's why Oronde Gadsden, while he might be the best player on the team, was not on the Maxwell Award watch list. It's kind of weird. Also, Marlowe Wax, by the way, is going to be wearing the new headset, or not the headset, the microphone, whatever you want to call it. He's going to be the one who's listening to the play calls coming into his helmet and barking out the orders to the rest of the defense. And shout out to college football for finally adapting to 21st century technology, just like the NFL has been doing for many years, with the quarterback wearing the headset, and same with the linebacker typically on defense. So that's how it's going to be for Syracuse. It's going to be McCord on offense and Wax on defense wearing the headset. But those are leaders of the team. One player that Fran Brown brought in and another player that Fran Brown was able to keep. I am very excited to see how Fran Brown attacks the portal in 2025. Obviously, you need to wait till after the season for that to happen. He's going to need to attack it again with Kyle McCord in his last year of eligibility. Oronde Gadsden's probably going to go to the NFL draft if he has a big season. Fadil Diggs is in his last year of eligibility. So I'm going to be very curious to see what Fran Brown does. But overall, before even coaching it down, Fran Brown has already gotten Syracuse football back into the top 25 in the transfer portal, which is really, really good for us. And going forward, hopefully he can continue to do the same.